As the City of Portland's development agency, Prosper Portland says its mission is to drive inclusive growth in the Rose City and to create vibrant neighborhoods and communities. That mission now led by Cornell Wesley, Prosper Portland's new executive director. He replaces interim director Shay Flaherty-Bettine, who resigned. Mr. Wesley comes to Portland from Birmingham, Alabama. He was that city's director of the Department of Innovation and Economic Opportunity. He's also worked in other cities and for the U.S. Department of Commerce. Cornell Wesley, welcome to Eye on Northwest Politics.
Thank you, Ken, for having me.
You're from Birmingham, Alabama, last worked there in a development capacity. Why'd you take this job in Portland? What about Portland was attractive to you?
Well, foundationally, I've been coming to Portland over the last 15 years, several times a year, as I have family here. My wife is a born and raised Portlander, a graduate of Benson High School, as well as Portland State. And so I've developed an affinity for this community just through my own experience.
What did you learn from Birmingham that you can bring to Portland?
Well, you know, I think it's Birmingham and many of the other places that I've worked around what does a vibrant community or a healthy community look like? What are the ingredients? What are the appropriate investments in infrastructure and in people that can create the sort of impact you're seeking?
And Prosper Portland's history, especially as the former Portland Development Commission, includes urban renewal, displacement of much of the city's black residents, especially in North and Northeast Portland. Groups like Albino Vision Trust and also the 1803 Fund, they're trying to reverse that dynamic. How do you see Prosper Portland's role in that?
Well, listen, we don't run from our past, right? We fully understand that it has been a challenged history. But looking at me as an African-American male leading this organization should speak to how we've changed the times, right? And so what we're going to do is continue to lean in to impact work. And quite candidly, Ken, we're going to make sure that our work speaks for itself.
Portland was hard hit in 2020 and 2021 with COVID, the George Floyd protests. We're trying to come back. The Central City is trying to come back. We've got a very high office vacancy rate. One of our major skyscrapers, the U.S. Bancorp Tower, Big Pink, was sold recently for pennies on the dollar. What do you think it will take in order to bring, especially the Central City, back?
It's going to take collaboration, not only Prosper, but quite candidly, we gotta lean heavy into our chief executive. So we're looking forward to working closely with our mayor and making certain that we understand his vision. Our city council is a key cog. I look forward to embracing and getting to understanding what their visions and goals are. And also all the other bureau leaders, right? They lead and they are a big part of this entire ecosystem. So it's not us. We want to lean into collaboration because it's going to take all of us to return, for the Central Business District to return.
The mayor's major priority has been ending unsheltered homelessness here in Portland. So have you talked to him, and how do you think the mission of Prosper Portland fits into his goal to essentially clean up the streets?
Absolutely. Definitely have talked to our Mayor Wilson, truly understands his vision for our city. But when you are taking care of the most vulnerable among us, then you're able to take care of all Portlanders, because truly, if the most vulnerable among us are not taken care of, how can we really expect to change or scale any of our initiatives? So I fully support what he's trying to accomplish, and Prosper Portland stands ready to assist.
When you look at the downtown business landscape, what do you see as improvements there? What can Prosper Portland do to drive that business development?
Well, we're going to continue to dive deeper into the sponsorship lane, right? Because when you have amazing events, you can create collisions of impact. Now, what do I mean by that? When you have people come into the place, a lot of hot dogs get bought, a lot of hamburgers get purchased, a lot of hotel rooms get checked in. And those are the sort of economic activity you want to see, as evidenced by Hip Hop Week happening this week, as well as the staycation initiatives. Shouts out to Millicent Williams and Peabody and the work that they're doing. These are the things that will help our Central Business District return.
Do you see the improvement happening already? You've been here during the course of the summer. You've seen some of the summer events. Is that going to be what helps drive the comeback? Is events and happenings?
Well, it's one of the ingredients. It's going to require several more to make this gumbo, right? But foundationally bringing people back to the place and creating opportunities for them to share their resources amongst our small businesses and our micro enterprises, that's going to roll up.
All right. Also, when you look at one of the major issues that Prosper Portland deals with is development. You know, of course, you got some big projects on the table right now. I'm thinking of Broadway Corridor. That's
right.
one of them. What are some of the other major projects you're involved in that you want to drive into the future?
Well, the James Beard Market is one of the amazing ones, right? That also speaks to what I like to describe as different colors of money. And what I mean by that, you have the state, county, as well as Prosper Portland, all as early adopters to see the success of the James Beard Market. Now, what would that yield? You're going to have micro enterprises locating in these spaces that'll be able to hopefully create the new James Beard Award-winning restaurant.
One of the other complaints that we hear from business leaders is just the whole tax and fee structure here, especially in Multnomah County.
Sure.
Where do you stand on that?
Well, you know, we're not a tax agency, but obviously a tax environment, a healthy one, impacts economic development. And so I've read the recent report that was released, Prosper Portland, whatever role we can play to assist or champion the small business community, we stand ready to do that as well.
Cornell Wesley, thank you very much for being here on Eye on Northwest Politics.
It's been a pleasure.
Next.